Rain poured down the glowing streets of Neo Haven, a city where humans and aliens lived together, but never truly trusted each other. The sky above shimmered with neon lights, but beneath it fear and secrets moved quietly. Ethan Cole, a struggling engineer, walked fast through the empty road. His rent was due, his job was gone, and his stomach hadn't seen a decent meal in 2 days. The world had changed since aliens came to Earth. Some humans worked with them, others feared them. Ethan didn't care anymore. He just wanted to survive one more day. That's when he saw her. A figure stood under a flickering streetlight, tall, cloaked, and motionless. Her face was hidden by a silver hood, but her eyes, they glowed faint blue, like moonlight trapped in glass. She looked human almost, but not quite. "Are you Ethan Cole?" her voice asked. Calm, soft, but not human. Each word felt like a song mixed with static. Ethan froze. "Yeah, who's asking?" "I have a proposal," she said, stepping closer. The rain didn't touch her cloak. Droplets slid away as if afraid. "I need a human. Just for one night. You will be paid more than you can imagine." Ethan blinked. "Excuse me? What kind of job is this?" She smiled slightly, her silver lips barely moving. "A personal contract. Rent me your time. One night. In return, you'll never worry about money again." Every instinct in Ethan's body screamed run, but the thought of debt, hunger, and darkness held him still. "And what's the catch?" he asked. "There is always a catch," she said quietly, "but not one that will kill you unless—" She paused, her eyes flickering. "You break the rule." "What rule?" She leaned close, and Ethan could see small lights pulsing under her skin. Circuits? Veins? He couldn't tell. Her whisper was almost a vibration in the air. "Do not fall asleep." He didn't understand, but she handed him a contract chip. One scan of his ID, and the deal was made. The chip pulsed red, then green. Her name appeared in holographic letters. Ariel Vexa. Species: Lumerian. Status: restricted. Restricted? Ethan asked, staring at it. "You're banned?" "Not banned," she said softly. "Protected. The law forbids what I am about to do. That's why I need a human." Before Ethan could question more, her vehicle, a silent floating pod, opened. Inside, the air shimmered with faint blue mist. He stepped in, drawn by something he didn't understand. The ride was quiet. Ariel didn't speak. Her eyes looked out the window as city lights passed like ghosts. Ethan tried to stay calm, but his mind spun with questions. "Why me?" he finally asked. "You could have chosen anyone." Her gaze met his. "Because you are desperate. Desperate humans make honest choices, and you are not afraid of what you don't understand." "I'm afraid right now," he admitted. "Good," she said. "Fear keeps you alive." When they reached her place, a massive glass dome outside the city, Ethan felt like he had stepped into another world. The structure floated above the sea, surrounded by silence and strange lights moving under the water. "Welcome to my refuge," Ariel said. Inside, the air was warm, filled with soft humming energy. Strange machines surrounded a glowing table at the center. Ethan's reflection in the glass walls looked tiny compared to her. "What do you want from me exactly?" he asked again. She walked toward a metallic cradle glowing blue. "My kind cannot reproduce naturally," she said. "We use hosts, biological bridges. But Lumerians and humans are not meant to connect. Unless," she looked at him again, "unless we break the law." Ethan took a step back. "Wait, are you saying you want me to—" "Don't misunderstand," she interrupted. "I don't need your body. I need your life frequency and your energy pattern. For one night, our minds will link. That's all. And if I fall asleep?" Her face darkened. "Then your mind won't return." Ethan stared at her, heart pounding. The job was insane, illegal, dangerous, but it was also real. And something in her voice, and sadness, fear, made him believe she wasn't lying. He took a deep breath. "All right." "One night," she nodded slowly, eyes glowing brighter. "Then come. Sit here." He sat on the edge of the glowing table as she placed a cold crystal on his forehead. The light spread, wrapping around him. "Close your eyes," she said softly. "But remember, do not sleep." As the light grew stronger, Ethan felt his heartbeat fade, replaced by a rhythm not his own. Images flashed in his mind. Stars, oceans, crying children, fire in the sky. He wanted to open his eyes, but something held him. Then he heard her whisper again, distant yet near. "If you stay awake, you'll save me." If you sleep, you'll become me. Ethan's world became light, bright, endless, and silent. He didn't know if his eyes were open or closed. He could still feel the humming of Ariel's machine around him, like a heartbeat made of electricity. He tried to speak, but no sound came out. Then slowly a second heartbeat joined his own. It wasn't human. It was steady, deeper, alive in another way. "Can you hear me?" The voice echoed in his head. Ariel's voice, but softer now, almost like it was inside his soul. "Yes," he managed to say, though he wasn't sure how. "Good," she whispered. "The link is working. You're inside the ether." He looked around. There was no ground, no sky, only moving light and shadows. He felt weightless, like floating in a dream. Shapes appeared around him, glowing threads stretching in every direction. "What is this place?" he asked. "This," she said, appearing beside him, her form shimmering, "is where our worlds touch. Your mind is the key I needed. The human brain creates bridges that Lumerians cannot." Ethan turned slowly. Her body was made of light now, but her eyes, those glowing blue eyes, still looked the same. "So this is your experiment?" "It's not an experiment," Ariel said quietly. "It's a confession." Suddenly the light shifted, turning red, pulsing like blood. Strange sounds filled the air, whispers, screams, memories. Ethan saw flashes, a Lumerian child crying in a dark room, flames falling from the sky, humans and aliens running from each other, weapons glowing. He gasped. "What is this?" "My memory," she said. "You're seeing what I see." Ethan felt his chest tighten. "You're showing me your past?" Ariel nodded. "I want you to understand why I broke the law." The scene changed again. Ethan saw Ariel standing in front of tall silver beings, her own kind. They looked emotionless, perfect, powerful. One of them spoke in a voice like thunder. "Lumerians must not bond with humans. Their minds are unstable. Their energy corrupts purity." Ariel had stood firm. "But our kind is dying." "The new generation cannot survive without a living link. Then let extinction come," the council replied coldly. The memory faded and they were back in the light. Ethan felt anger rise inside him. "They wanted your species to die rather than ask humans for help?" She looked at him, eyes full of sadness. "They believe humans are chaos, emotion, instinct, imperfection. They don't understand that what you call flaws are what make life possible." He stared at her. "So you went against your people to save them?" She gave a small, bitter smile. "Yes, and for that they will hunt me." Ethan's body trembled. "And I'm your shield, aren't I? A human link they can't trace." Her silence was answer enough. Then out of nowhere the light around them cracked. The world shuddered. A sharp sound pierced the air, like glass breaking underwater. Ariel's face turned pale. "No, they found us." "Who?" Ethan shouted. "Lumerian sentinels," she whispered. "They can sense forbidden links. They are trying to break our connection." The red light grew stronger, wrapping around Ethan's body. He felt like his brain was on fire. "It hurts." "Stay awake," Ariel cried. "If you fall asleep, they'll trap your mind forever." Ethan tried to keep his eyes open, but in this world he wasn't sure he even had eyes anymore. The pain grew worse. Voices screamed in his head. He saw dark figures, tall, shining, with hollow faces, closing in. Ariel stood between them and Ethan. "You will not take him," she shouted, her voice shaking the whole ether. "Traitor," the sentinels hissed. "You broke the law of purity. You linked with chaos. You will be erased." Ariel spread her arms, glowing brighter, her form flickering like fire. "Then erase me." "But he stays." Ethan tried to move but couldn't. The light around her exploded. A wave of energy pushed the sentinels back. Then everything went black again. When he opened his eyes, Ethan was back in the real world, lying on the glowing table. His chest hurt, his head spinning. The machines around him were smoking, sparks flying. Ariel knelt beside him, breathing hard. Her cloak was torn, her glowing skin dim. "What happened?" he whispered. "They tried to break the link," she said. "But they couldn't, you held on." He sat up slowly. "I saw them. Your people. They called you a traitor," she nodded. "Because I broke their perfect system." He noticed her hands trembling, not from fear but exhaustion. "You're weak," he said. "What did they do to you?" Ariel looked at him, her eyes glowing faintly. "When they attacked, I transferred part of my essence into you, to protect the bridge." Ethan frowned. "What does that mean?" It means, she paused, her voice soft. You're not fully human anymore. He stared at her in shock. What did you just say? She stood up slowly, her expression unreadable. The link cannot be undone. My energy is inside you now. If they find you, they'll destroy us both. Ethan's heart pounded. You didn't tell me this part of the deal. I couldn't, she whispered. You wouldn't have agreed. He backed away, terrified. You said one night. Just one night. Ariel looked down. For me, that one night might save my entire race. He stared at her, at the alien who had pulled him into her secret war, and felt the first spy. Morning light crept across the ocean dome. For a moment it looked peaceful. Silver water, quiet machines, soft light drifting through glass walls. But inside Ethan, nothing was peaceful. He sat on the edge of the glowing table, breathing fast. His skin felt different, warm, humming, as if tiny sparks lived under it. Every heartbeat echoed like thunder in his ears. Ariel stood near the window, her cloak gone. Her real form shimmered faintly, silver skin marked with moving lines of blue light. She didn't look at him, but her voice was calm. You survived the connection. No human has ever done that. Ethan rubbed his chest. It doesn't feel like surviving. It feels like something's inside me. That's because there is, she said quietly. He turned sharply. What do you mean inside me? Ariel turned around. Her eyes glowed softly. Not the cold blue of before, but warm now, almost human. The link shared more than energy. It transferred a fragment of my life pattern and a seed. A seed? Ethan's throat tightened. What kind of seed? Not biological, she said, stepping closer. It's not flesh. It's light. But it can grow, if it stays inside you. Ethan laughed nervously. You're saying you planted something in me? She met his eyes. Yes, and it's already growing. He stood up, backing away. You said this was for one night. You said I'd walk away rich and free. I said you'd live, she replied. And you did. But the connection changed us both. Your energy accepted mine. That's never happened before. He felt a wave of dizziness. I don't understand any of this. She touched a hand to his chest. Then listen, Ethan, what you carry now, it's not a disease or infection. It's life energy, a Lumerian spark. It's half of me. The words hit him like a storm. Half of you? She nodded slowly. If the Sentinels find us, they'll kill me. But if you survive, that spark lives on. It means my people have a future, through you. Ethan stepped back. No, I didn't agree to this. I'm not your hero. I'm just a man trying to pay rent. Her face softened. I know. And I'm sorry. But the link chose you, not me. Hours passed. Ethan tried to think, but his mind buzzed with strange sounds, whispers in a language he didn't know. When he touched the table, the surface glowed beneath his fingers. He pulled his hand away in shock. It's reacting to me, he said. Ariel nodded. Your frequency is changing. You're becoming part Lumerian. That's impossible, Ethan whispered. She smiled sadly. So was surviving the link. He felt anger rising again. You used me. I saved you, she said, her voice trembling. When the Sentinels attacked, you would have died. I gave you my energy to keep your mind alive. It's the only reason you're breathing. He wanted to shout, but her words silenced him. He remembered the pain, the light, the voice calling him to stay awake. If she hadn't helped him, he might be gone already. Silence filled the dome. Only the soft hum of alien machines broke it. Then Ariel whispered, They will come again. Ethan looked up. The Sentinels? She nodded. They will sense what we created. The link is forbidden because it breaks their laws. It creates something unpredictable. Something that feels, Ethan frowned. Feels? Yes, she said. Lumerians are logical, controlled. They see emotion as chaos. But the link gave me something new. Your fear, your anger, your heart. It's changing me too. She placed her hand on her chest. For the first time I can feel sadness, hope, even love. Ethan stared at her, speechless. That night, as the ocean waves hit the glass dome, Ethan couldn't sleep. He watched Ariel move across the room, her body glowing faintly in the dark. She stopped near him. You're still awake, she said softly. He gave a small smile. You told me not to sleep, remember? She smiled back, but there was sadness in it. You don't have to stay afraid anymore. The danger comes whether you sleep or not. He sighed. You talk like this is already over. Her eyes glowed brighter. It might be. The spark inside you is evolving faster than I expected. If it stabilizes, you'll live. If it doesn't, he swallowed hard. If it doesn't, then your body will collapse under the energy. You'll burn from the inside. Ethan stood up quickly. You can fix it, right? You said you were a scientist or whatever. She looked away. Not this time. The link created something new. I don't know what it will become. Anger flashed in his eyes. So I'm just an experiment again? No, she said firmly. You're the first human strong enough to carry a Lumerian soul. The words hung heavy between them. He turned away. I didn't ask for this soul. I just wanted to survive. And now, she whispered, you might be the reason I survive. Suddenly, the dome's walls flickered. Red lights blinked. A low siren echoed through the room. Ariel's head snapped up. They found us, Ethan's heart pounded. Who? The Sentinels, she said. They've locked onto our frequency. Through the glass, dark shapes appeared, tall silver figures floating above the sea, their eyes burning with white fire. Ethan grabbed her arm. What do we do? Ariel's voice trembled, something rare for her kind. Run. Where? Anywhere. The link gave you part of my power. You can move faster, think faster, and if you trust it. He stared at her, confused. Trust it? You mean this alien thing inside me? Yes, she said. It's you now. Use it, or we both die. The dome shook violently as the first sentinel struck. The glass cracked, light pouring in like lightning. Ariel's voice echoed in his head one last time. Ethan, if you live through this, protect the seed. It's not just mine anymore. It's ours. The ocean dome shook again. A second blast ripped through the glass ceiling, spraying shards that glowed like stars before vanishing into smoke. Ethan covered his face as the air filled with a humming sound. Low, deep, and powerful. Through the broken roof, he saw them. 5 sentinels, tall metallic beings wrapped in silver light, descending like silent angels of judgment. Their eyes burned white. Their bodies made no sound, yet the entire dome trembled with their presence. Ariel's voice cut through the noise. They found the signal. We have seconds! She grabbed Ethan's hand and pulled him toward a glowing corridor at the back. He stumbled behind her, heart racing. Where does this go? To the ocean tunnels, she shouted. They lead to the surface, far from their scanners. Behind them, a sentinel's voice echoed like thunder in glass. Ariel Vexa, surrender the human. The link will be purged. Ariel didn't stop. Keep running, Ethan. The corridor lights flickered red. Machines exploded one by one as energy bolts tore through the walls. Ethan's ears rang, but his body, the strange energy inside him, began to react. His heartbeat synced with the hum of the dome. He could feel vibrations before they happened, as if his senses were ahead of time. A beam of white light cut through the hallway. Ariel turned, raising her hands. Blue energy flared around her palms, forming a shield. The beam hit it, scattering sparks everywhere. She gasped in pain, but held the shield long enough for Ethan to slide under the blast. Go! She screamed. He didn't want to leave her. Something deep inside urged him to fight, to protect her. When another beam came, he raised his hand without thinking, and the air around him rippled. A wave of blue-white light burst from his palm, slamming into the wall and sending the sentinel stumbling back. Ethan stared at his hand in disbelief. What did I just... Ariel looked at him with awe. You used the link. It's awake. But I don't even know how. You don't need to know, she said, pulling him again. You feel it. They reached a round chamber filled with circular doors. The floor pulsed under their feet like a living thing. Shriel pressed her hand to one of the panels and the door split open, revealing a tunnel filled with dark blue water glowing faintly with light. We go through, she said. Ethan stared. That's the ocean. We'll drown! Not anymore, she whispered. The link lets you breathe in my world. Before he could protest, she pulled him in. The water swallowed them, cold, heavy. But strangely, Ethan could breathe. The liquid tasted metallic yet pure. His lungs expanded easily. Through the glowing water, he saw strange creatures swimming beside them, long silver shapes that looked like ribbons of light. The tunnel curved downward, then out into the open sea. Behind them, the sentinels followed, their white light cutting through the dark. They're faster, Ethan said. Then we change the current, Ariel replied. She spread her arms, and blue energy spiraled from her hands into the water. The sea twisted, forming a vortex. Ethan felt the pull dragging them forward at incredible speed. The sentinels struggled to keep up, but one raised its arm and fired a beam that sliced through the water like lightning. It hit Ethan's leg, burning through his suit. He screamed. Ariel grabbed him, pressing her hand over the wound. "Stay awake." Her touch glowed bright blue and the pain vanished. The burn sealed, replaced by faint silver lines on his skin. "What did you do?" he asked, shaking. "I healed you," she said quietly. "Our bond lets me mend what my energy harms, but it takes from me each time." He noticed her glow dimming. "You're weakening." She didn't answer, only pulled him closer. "If we reach the surface, we'll be safe. For now." The current threw them out of the tunnel into open ocean. Above them, the moon shone faintly through the waves. Ethan kicked upward, following the light. His muscles burned, but the alien energy kept pushing him forward. When they broke through the surface, cold air hit his face. He gasped, looking around. Endless ocean under a silver night sky. Behind them, the dome burned beneath the water, blue flames flickering inside the waves. Ariel floated beside him, breathing heavily. "We made it." Ethan turned to her. "For how long?" Before she could answer, thunder roared above them. 3 sentinel ships hovered in the sky, their lights scanning the water. Ariel's eyes widened. "They won't stop. We need to disappear completely." "How?" Ethan shouted over the wind. She pointed toward a cluster of glowing islands far away, small, covered in mist. "They're the dead zone. Their sensors can't enter." Ethan stared at the distance. "That's miles away." "Then we swim," she said. He groaned. "You're serious? Do you want to live?" He sighed. "Good point." They started swimming toward the faint lights of the dead zone. Ethan's body moved with unnatural strength, each stroke faster, smoother. He felt the current bend around him. The seed inside him pulsed, guiding his movements. Ariel glanced at him, her eyes glowing faintly. "You're adapting faster than I thought." "I'm not sure that's a good thing," he muttered. "It might be the only reason we survive." Hours later, they reached the edge of the mist. The sea turned still, the air colder. No wind, no sound, only silence. "This place," Ethan whispered, "feels wrong." "It's where the universe bends," Ariel said. "A gap between realities. Even sentinels fear it. Why? Because it doesn't follow rules." They floated into the fog. The water around them shimmered strangely like liquid glass. For a moment, Ethan's reflection split into 2. One human, one glowing blue. He blinked. "What's happening to me?" "The link is stabilizing," she said softly. "The seed is growing stronger." "Meaning?" Her gaze lingered on him. "Meaning it's no longer just energy, Ethan. It's becoming alive." They reached a half-sunken structure hidden in the mist, an ancient ruin, covered in alien symbols that pulsed with faint light. Ariel smiled weakly. "My ancestors built this place before Lumerians became pure. Before they forgot how to feel." Ethan looked around in awe. "It's beautiful." "And creepy," she nodded. "Here we rest. Here we decide what happens next." He frowned. "What can happen next?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Either we find a way to protect what's growing inside you, or the galaxy will destroy it, and us, before it's born." The mist around the ancient ruin was thick as smoke. Ethan and Ariel stood on a cracked platform that floated above glowing water. Strange symbols pulsed under their feet like veins. The place felt alive, whispering, breathing, watching. Ethan hugged himself, shivering. "This place, it feels wrong." Ariel touched the wall, her glowing fingers tracing an old symbol. "It's older than both our worlds. This was where the first Lumerians tried to mix their energy with organic life." He frowned. "You mean like what we did?" "Yes," she whispered. "But they failed. Their creations died before birth. The law was made after this, no bonds with other species." Ethan looked around. "So why bring me here?" Her blue eyes met his. "Because it's the only place where forbidden life can survive." He didn't know what she meant until it happened. A sharp pain in his chest, sudden and deep. Ethan groaned, dropping to his knees. The same glowing lines that marked Ariel's skin now ran across his arms, bright and moving. "Ariel," he gasped. She knelt beside him, eyes wide. "It's starting." "What's starting?" "The growth." Her voice shook. "The seed is awakening." He gritted his teeth. "You said it wasn't a body. You said it was energy." "It is," she said quickly, placing her hands over his heart. But now it's becoming more. It's turning into life. Ethan's body trembled. Heat spread through his veins. The symbols on the floor began to glow brighter, pulsing with his heartbeat. The mist around them moved like a living thing, swirling faster. "What's happening to me?" he shouted. "The ruins are responding," she said. "They recognize what's inside you. It's calling to them." For a few minutes, the pain faded, replaced by something strange. A rhythm, a soft thumping inside his chest that wasn't his heartbeat. He froze. "Ariel, I feel something inside me. It's moving." She looked at him with wonder and fear. "That's the core of the seed. It's forming consciousness." He stared at her in disbelief. "You mean it's alive?" She nodded. "Part of me, part of you, and something entirely new." Ethan stood slowly, shaking his head. No. This isn't real. You said one night. You said I'd walk away." Her expression softened. "I didn't expect this either. The link was supposed to fade. But your mind, your human emotion, gave it power. You gave it a will." He backed away, terrified. "So what happens now? Does it stay inside me?" "Until it's ready," she said. "Ready for what?" Ariel didn't answer immediately. Her eyes filled with something Ethan had never seen in her before. Fear. "Ready to be born." The words froze the air between them. "Born?" Ethan whispered. "That's not possible. I don't mean human birth," she said quickly. "The seed isn't physical. When it's ready, it will separate. Release its energy into both of us. And if it doesn't, then it will tear you apart." They stood in silence. Only the strange heartbeat echoed through the ruins. Finally, Ethan asked softly, "You said it's part of you too. Does that mean you feel it?" She nodded slowly. "Every time it moves, I feel it. It's like my soul is reaching through you." He looked down at his hands. The glowing veins pulsed faintly. "Then maybe it's not a curse," he said quietly. Ariel tilted her head. "What do you mean?" "Maybe it's what your people needed. You said they were dying, right? Maybe this, whatever's inside me, it's the next step." Ariel smiled faintly. "You sound like me when I first broke the law." He chuckled weakly. "Guess we're both criminals now." But the moment didn't last. The ground trembled beneath them. The water below turned red. Ariel's eyes widened. "No, they found us again." Ethan's heart dropped. "How? You said this place was safe." "It was," she said. "But the seed's awakening. It sent out energy." They tracked it. From the mist, dark shapes emerged, sentinels again, but different this time. Their armor was cracked, their lights flickering. They looked angry. One of them spoke, its voice echoing like a storm. "Forbidden life detected. Purge protocol initiated." Ariel grabbed Ethan's hand. "We fight or we die." Ethan shook his head. "Fight them? We barely survived last time." "You're stronger now," she said firmly. "The seed is part of you. Use it." The sentinels raised their arms. Energy beams charged. Ariel and Ethan stood side by side. "Focus," she whispered. "Don't think with fear. Think with feeling." Ethan closed his eyes. The heartbeat inside him grew louder. He felt the pulse move through his body. Warm, alive, powerful. When the sentinels fired, Ethan raised his hand. A wall of blue light burst from his palm, stopping the beams mid-air. The impact sent waves across the ruins. Ariel's eyes widened.
"You did it!"
Ethan smiled faintly. "I think I just believed it would work. Then believe again," she shouted, raising her own energy. Together their powers merged. Blue and silver colliding in the air, forming a massive pulse of light. The wave hit the sentinels, shattering their armor. One by one, they fell into the red water below, dissolving like smoke. The ruins went silent again. Ethan dropped to his knees, panting. "Did we win?" "For now," Ariel said softly. She knelt beside him, her hand trembling as she touched his shoulder. "You're changing faster than I expected." He looked up at her. "Am I still human?" She smiled sadly. "You're something better, something new." He took a deep breath. The air around him shimmered faintly. He could still feel that second heartbeat, softer now but steady. "What happens next?" he asked. Ariel looked toward the glowing water. "Now we protect it, because soon every power in the galaxy will come for what's inside you." Ethan's heart raced again. "You mean the sentinels aren't the only ones?" Her expression hardened. "No. Once word spreads that a human carries a living Lumerian core, others will come, for power, for control, for fear. He stood slowly, his hands glowing faintly in the dim light. Then let them come, he said quietly. If this thing is part of me, I'll protect it. Ariel looked at him with quiet awe, spoken like someone who was never meant to be ordinary. The red water turned calm again. The ruins glowed faintly under the fog as if nothing had happened. But Ethan knew everything had changed. The battle was over, for now. Yet something deep inside him was no longer quiet. He could feel it. A rhythm, a pulse, a whisper. At first he thought it was his imagination, but the sound grew stronger, like a heartbeat echoing from inside his soul. Ethan, he froze. The voice was soft, neither male nor female, but alive. Ethan, can you hear me? He looked around, heart pounding. Ariel, did you say something? Ariel turned from the broken wall. No, why? He took a shaky breath. Someone just called my name. Her eyes widened. The seed? I think so. The whisper came again, clearer this time. Don't be afraid, I'm inside you. Ethan's mind spun. I'm talking to myself, aren't I? No, I'm not you, not yet. I'm learning. He grabbed his head. This is insane. Ariel knelt beside him, touching his arm. Ethan, listen to it. The first Lumerian bonds failed because they silenced the new life. They didn't listen. He looked at her helplessly. How do I talk to something inside me? She smiled softly. The same way you talk to me in the ether. With your heart, not your voice. Ethan closed his eyes. He focused on the soft rhythm inside. The sound pulsed with warmth, almost like comfort. You feel scared, the voice said. He thought the words instead of saying them. Who are you? I don't know yet. I am, both of you. The memory of her light and the fire of your heart. I exist because you stayed awake. Ethan's eyes flew open. It remembers that? Ariel nodded slowly. It's aware. That means it's growing fast. Mother is afraid, the voice whispered again. She thinks the world will destroy me. Ariel's breath caught. It called me mother. Hours passed. They rested near the glowing pool at the center of the ruins. Ariel sat quietly, eyes closed, while Ethan stared at his reflection in the water. His skin still had faint silver lines. The mist above shimmered like a living cloud. He finally asked, What happens if this thing keeps growing? Ariel opened her eyes. Then the universe changes, he frowned. That's not exactly comforting, she smiled faintly. When the Lumerians first learned to control energy, they lost their emotions. They became pure logic, perfect but hollow. The seed inside you, it carries both power and feeling. It's something my people thought impossible. So this thing, he pointed at his chest, is evolution? Maybe, she said softly. Or maybe it's the end. Before he could reply, the air above the ruins shimmered. A golden ripple spread across the mist, followed by a deep rumble. Ariel's head snapped up. No, not them. Ethan stood quickly. Not who? The Lumerian High Council, she said. They've come themselves. Out of the golden light descended a massive ship, silent, circular, covered in glowing runes. The water below it turned to steam. Ethan's jaw dropped. They brought a whole army? Not an army, Ariel whispered. Judgment. A beam of gold light struck the ruins. From it 3 figures appeared, tall, elegant, almost transparent. Their faces had no mouths, no eyes, only light. One spoke, its voice calm and cold. Ariel Vexa, you defied the code. You merged essence with human chaos. Step forward and surrender. Ariel took a deep breath. No, I will not. The figure turned toward Ethan. Human, what she has placed in you is forbidden. It will consume you and everything around you. Surrender the life form. Ethan clenched his fist. Not happening. You are not strong enough to contain it. You will burn. He took a step forward. Then let me burn. The golden figures moved closer. Ariel stood in front of him, her voice steady. You can't control what's already alive. The seed belongs to no one and not even me. The leader's tone darkened. Then it must be destroyed. Energy gathered around them, bright and violent. Ethan shouted, Wait! It's not a weapon, it's trying to talk. They don't hear me, the voice whispered sadly in his mind. They only see fear, he whispered back. Then make them hear you. How through me? The air exploded with light. The seed's energy surged through Ethan like fire. His body glowed blue and silver, brighter than the council's gold. The ruins vibrated. Water rose into the air, floating around them in glowing drops. Ethan's voice echoed, but it wasn't just his. It was deeper, layered, strange and beautiful. I am not chaos. I am balance. I am born from fear and love. You call it forbidden, but it is life. The council froze. Their golden forms flickered. Impossible, one whispered. It achieved unity. Ariel stared at Ethan, tears in her eyes. It spoke. The leader's light dimmed. If this being truly holds balance, then it will decide its own fate. But understand, and if it fails, it will destroy both your species. Ethan's voice softened, still echoing with two tones. Then trust us to choose right. The golden light faded. The ship slowly rose back into the mist and vanished. The ruins fell silent again. Ethan collapsed, breathing hard. Ariel caught him before he hit the ground. Ethan. He opened his eyes weakly. Did it work? She smiled softly. They spared us, he touched his chest. The second heartbeat was still there, calm, strong, peaceful. Thank you, the voice whispered inside him, for letting me live. He smiled faintly. You sound human now. Maybe I am, Ariel brushed a tear from her cheek. Do you know what this means, Ethan? You just spoke to the council as something they've never seen. A hybrid soul. You changed history. He gave a tired laugh. I didn't mean to. You never do, she said gently. That's what makes you human. The mist began to fade, revealing a sunrise over the endless sea. Ethan looked at it, the light touching his face. For the first time, he didn't feel like an ordinary man anymore. He felt connected. To her, to the seed, to something far bigger than he could understand. Ariel stood beside him, watching the dawn. The universe will fear what we've created, she said. Ethan nodded. Then we'll give them a reason to hope instead. The sun rose over the silver sea, painting the mist in gold. The ruins of the ancient temple glowed faintly, still humming with the energy of what had happened hours ago. For the first time in forever, everything was quiet. Ethan sat near the water's edge, watching ripples spread from his hand. The silver lines on his skin pulsed gently with each heartbeat. Two rhythms now, his and the seed's. Ariel stood behind him, silent. She looked weaker than before. Her glow was fading. The connection that saved them was also draining her life. He turned toward her. You're losing energy again, she smiled faintly. It's the cost of balance. You're holding most of it now, he frowned. Then take it back. I can handle this alone, she shook her head. If I take it back, the seed will die. You are its anchor now. Ethan clenched his fists. You mean you're dying so it can live? Her eyes softened. Maybe that's what I was meant for. My people wanted to live forever without emotion. Now, I finally feel something worth dying for. He stood, his voice trembling. Don't say that. We fought too hard to lose you now. She stepped closer, brushing her hand against his cheek. Her touch was cold but gentle. When I first saw you, I only saw a desperate human. But now I see what my kind could never understand. Love, chaos, courage. The things that make life alive, he grabbed her hand. We can find another way. There's always another way. A faint smile touched her lips. Not this time. Before he could speak, the water around them began to glow red again. A pulse spread across the ocean like a heartbeat from the deep. Ethan looked around, panicked. What now? Ariel's expression turned grim. The balance is unstable. The seed is too strong. If it grows more, it could collapse the fabric of both worlds. You mean, yes, she said softly. It could destroy everything. Inside Ethan's chest, the second heartbeat grew faster. He heard the voice again, clear and calm. I don't want to hurt anyone, Ethan whispered. Then stop growing. You can stay like this. I can't. Life doesn't stop. It only becomes, Ariel closed her eyes. It's realizing its purpose. It knows what it is now. He looked at her desperately. Then tell me what to do. She hesitated. There is one way to stop the collapse. We can send it through the ancient gate, back into the cosmic stream. It will survive as pure energy beyond our worlds. Ethan nodded. Then let's do it, she lowered her gaze. But if we do, we'll lose it forever. They walked to the heart of the ruins. The floor opened, revealing a massive circular gate glowing with shifting color, blue, gold, silver. It hummed softly, alive. Ariel placed her hand on the control stone. The gate connects to the ether, the same place we first linked minds. Once it goes through, it can never return. Ethan looked down at his chest, feeling the heartbeat inside. Can it hear us? Ariel nodded. It's listening, he whispered. You don't have to go if you don't want to. The voice came again, sad but peaceful. I was never meant to stay. I'm the bridge, not the world on either side. Ethan's eyes burned with tears. But you're alive. Because you cared. Ariel stepped closer, tears glowing on her cheeks. It's time, Ethan. He took her hand, squeezing it tightly. If we send it away, what happens to us? Her voice trembled. The link will break. You'll go back to being human. I may not survive the separation. Ethan's chest tightened. No, I'm not losing you too. She smiled softly. You already gave me forever in one night. The gate roared to life. Light flooded the ruins, swirling like a storm of stars. The seed's heartbeat grew faster, stronger, echoing through the air. I'm ready. Ethan felt warmth spreading through his body. The silver glow in his veins turned gold. He looked at Ariel. I don't want to let go. She reached up, touching his face gently. Then don't let go of what we became. For a moment, they just stood there, human and alien, two lives that were never meant to meet. Then Ethan stepped forward, placing his hand over his heart. All right, he whispered. Let's do this. The gate flared. Energy surged out, wrapping around them both. The air shimmered, filled with whispers, light and memories, their first meeting, the night of the link, the battles, the laughter, the pain. Thank you for staying awake. The voice faded into the light. Ethan's chest burned with heat and sorrow as the seed's energy lifted from him. A glowing sphere of silver and blue rising into the air. Ariel watched it with tears in her glowing eyes. It's beautiful, she whispered. The light touched her hand. And for a brief second, Ethan saw something impossible. Her broken circuits healing. Her dim glow turning bright again. The seed wasn't just leaving. It was giving back. Then it vanished into the gate, disappearing in a burst of starlight. Silence. Only the soft sound of the sea. Ethan fell to his knees, gasping. His body felt empty, but human again. The silver lines on his skin faded. He looked up at Ariel. Are you okay? She stood still, her glow flickering faintly. It gave me something before it left. A spark. To live. He smiled weakly. Good, because I'm not ready to lose you. Ariel knelt beside him. You already gave me something worth living for. He looked into her glowing eyes. Stay, not for a night. Stay forever, she smiled, a real human smile. Then forever begins now. They watched the sunrise together. The sea shimmered with colors from the gate's fading light. Somewhere beyond the stars, the seed drifted free, part human, part Lumerian, carrying their story through the universe. Ariel rested her head on his shoulder. Do you think it remembers us? Ethan smiled softly. It doesn't have to. We remember it. The waves rose and fell, carrying their reflection across the golden light. One human, one alien, bound by something neither law nor distance could break. Rent me for one night, she had said once. But in the end, that one night became forever.